Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host for today, Kevin McIntosh. Starting off with our top story of today, Oakland County officially launching their holiday shopping sweepstakes. It's encouraging you and all residents in Oakland County to find the local gems in your community with the chance to win some cash prizes. We now go live to our very own Jake Schaff, who spoke to business owners and shoppers of Greater West Bloomfield about why they shop local. Jake?
Kevin, good morning. Yes, I'm here live inside of Orchard Mall right here in West Bloomfield, where holiday season and the shopping season, more importantly, have already started to come underway. And Kevin, we're going to be hearing all about shopping local this holiday season. And business operators like Tracy Rowley say that shopping local provides a number of benefits to both small businesses and to consumers in Greater West Bloomfield.
To keep, number one, the brick and mortars around, and we give back to the community. There's so much. We give back to schools. We have game nights. We have game days. You can come in and bring your children in here so that they can see everything that is going on. Like we had that experience when we were kids. Everybody went into a store and could touch things and play with things. When you're buying things online or at home, the kids don't have that interaction at all.
Of course, it's not just the business owners that are also getting ready for the season, but it's local shoppers as well, like Shirley Saltzman, who talked about some of her favorite local shops that bring a sense of personal connection that she says you simply can't get by shopping on the web.
I think shopping locally is very important. It helps, not only does it help the community, but it helps the businesses stay alive and stay vibrant. Shopping online means you look at something when you get it home, it may not look the same on you. Whereas having the opportunity to try on clothes and stand in front of the mirror and get the opinion of somebody with the expertise who works in the store will let you leave the store confident that you are going to look your best.
There are some things you simply can't get just by communicating through a screen. And here at the Orchard Mall, business owners like Allie Cohen are thrilled that a local sweepstakes may benefit them and their neighbors in our very own local mall.
Anything that we can do to help benefit one another, again, that family community feeling, where we can help support the small businesses and then also give back to the local consumers. That's a huge plus and a huge benefit.
The Oakland County Local Gems Contest is underway, and a simple trip to your favorite local shop and a quick selfie could help you do your holiday shopping and even help you pay for some of those gifts. Jake Schaff out in the field at Orchard Mall. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Jake. Great story and great way to reach out and touch to some of the local residents out shopping local right now. And also, like we said, that initiative is a fantastic way to support our local economy this upcoming holiday season. So remember, the local gym sweepstakes runs now through November 30th. So make sure to stop by your favorite local shops, snap those selfies, and upload them to oakgov.com/shop small. That's oakgov.com/shop small. It's a win-win for you, me, and the entire community. So just keep that in mind before you go on Amazon. But in the community here, we are also talking about technology that is advancing the way for our youth. Specifically, West Bloomfield School District using technology to encourage activity and interactive play. At Scotch Elementary School, students are experiencing a whole new way to move and learn thanks to the Lou Interactive Gym System. I actually got a chance to speak with the staff at Scotch Elementary to ask, what is this Lou Interactive Gym System?
Being able to incorporate technology into the PE space has always been difficult, but using this new system has been great to get the kids more excited. It changes stuff up, and it's kind of adapting physical education to a new technology stage. We're in a new technology era now where technology kind of rules our life, and being able to incorporate this technology into the gym has been able to open up new doors for the kids and really have them experience new things and have a lot of enjoyment when they come into class now.
Nick Rotter, the physical education teacher at Scotch Elementary, says the interactive gym creates new opportunities to learn while having fun.
So they really like the target game. It's kind of more of a video game type situation. But there's a game called Newton, where Newton incorporates math, and being able to incorporate that cross-curricular activity has been really big. The kids don't realize that they're doing math. They're out there having fun, throwing the ball and being active, but they're actually using their brain and thinking and coming up with the right solution for the math equations and stuff like that.
For the students, the Lou Interactive Gym is an exciting break from the norm. We spoke to some of them about what they like and learned about the new system.
I like how you can hit different things, and it doesn't matter what target you hit. It'll always go to that team and sometimes not yours.
I learned how to that you have to work with teams and focus on what to hit, and I like where you're on teams.
Beyond physical fitness, the Lou Interactive Gym also promotes important life skills such as teamwork, problem solving, and focus. Each activity is designed to keep students moving while learning and enjoying themselves.
It's been great to use this technology to kind of tailor towards different students' needs and stuff like that. All students, we have a wide range of diverse learners here, and some may not be as excited to come to physical education every day with the traditional standard, but utilizing this new technology and kind of being able to incorporate a video game essentially into PE kind of unlocks new potential for different students in the physical education setting.
It is very, very fun in person. Trust you me. I actually went there and had a lot of fun watching the kids play the games and things of that nature. But call me old school. I'd rather play basketball with an actual hoop rather than on a projector. But with this innovative addition to their school, students at Scotch Elementary are staying fit while having fun, proving that learning and movement can go hand in hand. You can rewatch that entire segment again on our website, civiccentertv.com. Click on the On Demand tab for that segment and more. A local educator has been named a finalist in a statewide award. We're thrilled to announce that Susie Eisner of West Bloomfield High School has been named a finalist for the 2025 Michigan Assistant Principal of the Year Award. Congratulations, first and foremost. This honor highlights Eisner's outstanding dedication to students, faculty, staff, and the entire West Bloomfield community. Known for her leadership and commitment to student success, Eisner has made a lasting impact on the lives of students and staff alike. We congratulate her on this significant achievement and wish her the best in the final selection. You can give your congratulations on the West Bloomfield School District's Facebook page on Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools for more information. There's a lot of things going on in the Greater West Bloomfield community that we like to support, and like we were talking about earlier, supporting local businesses and artisans and things of that nature. And the West Bloomfield Township Public Library is hosting its first ever Shop Small Saturday event happening this month. So with us right here live on The Splash to give you all the details you want for that, we have Community Engagement Librarian for the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Emily Tobin. Thank you for being here, Emily.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Absolutely. So going straight into it, this event, I held off from giving the details. I want you to tell everybody the details of this event, please.
So we are going to have our very first Shop Small Saturday event, and it will take place on Shop Small Saturday, which is traditionally the Saturday after Thanksgiving for small businesses to get some recognition after that huge Black Friday event. So it will be Saturday, November 30th at the main branch of the library from noon to 4 p.m. In our main meeting room, and it will probably also be in our community commons room, which we have newly opened because we have that many vendors for the community to come and check out.
Nice. That's good news then. So let's get into the inspiration of this. What inspired the talks to even have this event at the library?
So other libraries do have similar things. The closest one to us is Novi. They have been doing a small business event for a couple of years, and I have a close librarian friend in Baltimore who does one at several of her branches. But I like to do different things and involve the community. I mean, I guess that's part of my title, but I like to bring people into the building, especially people that may have not been here in a while, so that they can see what else we offer and that we're doing things that are not just books, that we are a place that is, relevant in the community. So I thought this would be a great opportunity. I love to craft myself. So I thought I would support local businesses this way.
I like that. And as you gave more context to it, you having friends who work for libraries in different markets, you can kind of pull from those ideas. Oh, okay, that sounds good. Let's try something like that here. So I want to get into that a little bit more. But with us right here live on The Splash from the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Community Engagement Librarian Emily Tobin, talking about their Shop Small event coming up November 30th, by the way. How do you feel the library's role, or what do you feel the library's role is in supporting local artisans and small businesses in the community?
So this building, the library, we're here to support the community in any way that we can.
Okay.
So for small businesses, we want to try to open our doors and give them a way to showcase what they do. A lot of people can't afford, to be part of a big fair. They may not be able to afford the booth fee. They may be just getting started and not know, what to do yet. And this is a good way to dip their feet in the water. The library is a great, welcoming, supportive place. So it's a good way to just try something new.
No, and I agree, and I'm glad you asked that, because essentially I asked that question because you don't really, like I said, I don't think this is too common that we're seeing this in every library, that they're supporting local businesses. So this is kind of a unique event. So I'm like, how does this tie in with the role and the mission of the library? And you made the connection right there. I 100% agree, as someone who has had a small business himself. Like, yeah, sometimes you don't have those opportunities to go to the big trade shows, to showcase. You need these smaller opportunities, especially if you're just starting. So thank you for providing that context. Have you been getting any response from the vendors or the community about this event leading up to it?
Yep. So we had over 30 vendors apply, which is, I think, great for a first time event here. And we selected 15 vendors because our space is so small. I would like to have everybody, obviously, come and be able to showcase what they do. Right. But we have 15 local vendors, so they are from the state of Michigan, and most importantly, they're in our community. So we have a lot of people that will be here on Saturday, with a variety of different things that they're selling. And the community has also been very responsive. We're starting this week on our Facebook page. We have a Facebook event through our library page, and we're starting to showcase different items that people will be selling, so different works of the artist. So we have lots of pictures forthcoming of what you will be able to see.
Okay. So just paint the picture for our listeners on 89.3 Lakes FM. What type of things can we expect at this event?
So we have a big variety. So we have soaps, handmade soaps. We have jewelry. We have recycled birdhouses. We have ceramics. There are handmade pens. There will be local chocolatier. We have diamond painting, watercolors, all kinds of things.
As soon as you said chocolatier, Emily, I was locked in. I was locked in at that point. I love that. My sweet tooth got to speaking. I love that. But with us right here live on the Splash, West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Community Engagement Librarian Emily Tobin, talking about their Shop Small event happening this month, November 30th. Just a couple questions before we let you leave. What do you want people to take away from attending this event? What impact do you expect to have on residents that come to the library for this?
I want them to see, number one, what all of the talented people in their community do. They can keep their dollars in the community and support these people, and what their library is doing. That we're not just a place that houses books, but that there's all kinds of things going on. When people come in the building, they can pick up a program guide and see that we have programs for all ages all year round.
Yes. Great point. See, because the library, like we said, there's so many different resources at our local library. And for this to be an addition to that, I just think we all should be more in touch with what's going on at the library. And we're happy to be a channel for that also. One last thing, Emily, do you see this becoming an annual event, a frequent event? And what would it take for that to actually happen?
I sure hope that it's going to be an annual event. So we have a lot of support through the art sale community in Kego Harbor. They do like an event with their block parties on Fridays in the summer. So they have like a little art fair, and there are a couple of the art sale vendors in this Shop Small event. But I really do hope that we can do this every Shop Small Saturday and get new people in here, and that we can grow this event.
I agree with that. And for our audience and watchers who may have just joined us, please give us the details of this upcoming Shop Small event with the West Bloomfield Township Library, please.
So it will be Saturday, November 30th from 12 to 4 p.m. at the main branch of the library in our meeting room and community commons space.
Thank you again from the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Community Engagement Library, Emily Tobin. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yes, we love to talk about things that are happening at our local library right here because there's so much going on. They provide so many different resources. So make sure you stay tuned with everything that they're doing directly on their website, wblib.org, for more information regarding what they're doing for their Shop Small event. There's plenty of other things going on right here locally in West Bloomfield, or in the Greater West Bloomfield area, I should say, that's making a big impact, as a matter of fact. And with us right here live on the Splash to talk about an impact that they are having worldwide, we have Director of Music Ministries for the Orchard Lake Community Church, Bruce Snyder, joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, Bruce.
Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. So we have a lot to break down right here. First and foremost, I want to talk about this Carnegie Hall performance that you all be doing. What does it mean to you to even lead a group from Orchard Lake Community Church to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City?
Yeah, it's probably a once-in-a-lifetime event, especially for this choir. Some of them have never even been to New York City. So this is going to be a spectacular event for them. We know the composer who is conducting this concert, and so that makes it a little bit more friendly, a little bit more fun. And in fact, that he's joining us back at Orchard Lake at the end of the week to do a repeat performance with our choir in town. So it's a significant it's a significant time of encouragement and celebrating with this choir.
Congratulations, first and foremost. So once in a lifetime opportunity like that, performing in New York from our little community of Greater West Bloomfield. We love that you are representing. Can you just talk about how this opportunity came about? How did you all get in a position to perform at Carnegie Hall? And just talk about the preparation process before you get there.
I knew that I was going to retire after the Christmas season, after almost 30 years at Orchard Lake. And because I know this composer and some of his colleagues, I had texted them and said, hey, would it be possible for you to help me celebrate it in December and come into town and do some of the artistry that you do at the piano and help us celebrate these series of last events? And he said, well, you know, I'm performing this work in Carnegie the week before. And I said, oh, really? Do you think we could bring some folks? And he said, sure. And put us in touch with the festival host agency. And we went from there. And before you know it, we have 22 people flying to the city.
Bring some folks indeed. 22 people in our lovely Orchard Lake Community Church. Oh, what a great deal. And that just speaks on relationships, too, that you've built throughout the years. And cat's out of the bag now. Congratulations on your retirement coming up at the end of the year. Let's speak on that. But right here, joining us live on The Splash, we have Director of Music Ministries for Orchard Lake Community Church, Bruce Snyder, now talking about his retirement and upcoming performance at Carnegie Hall. So reflecting on 29 years of service, what are your most memorable moments or performances in your role of Director of Music Ministries?
You know, I always felt like I had two callings in life. One was that I was a music educator. I taught in Bloomfield Hills schools for 35 years and tried to do that with consistency and some excellence and rare, wonderful opportunities for students. But I was also always involved in the local church. I believe that music is something to be celebrated. It is something that is a gift of God, and we should use it, you know, in the life of the church. And so I've almost 30 years. And in that time, we've done fully staged musicals. We've done classical works. We've worked with orchestras. We've helped support concert series. We did a Europe trip early in my tenure. We spent 16 days in Europe with the choir performing and touring. We've taken a couple of road trips lately to see big sacred musicals in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And so all of those things are wonderful. But I think that the two things that are most important is that I like to play in the sandbox with others. I like to make music with other people. I think that's the greatest pleasure.
There you go.
And then to do that and be able to express my faith and encourage other people in their faith has been, I think, a big blessing.
Love that. I just hear the passion in your voice, Bruce, and how you love what you do, your commitment to not only just the church, but the schools also. Like you spent decades at both contributing and giving your service and your skills. And we want to thank you for that also. And I want to talk about 29 years, very long time. Can you just talk about how the music program has evolved over those 29 years at Orchard Lake Community Church?
You know, in some ways, it's exactly the same because the music of the church, of course, there are a whole new generations of things musically going on. But there's also great threads of music that has nurtured the spirit of the church for hundreds of years. And so we, you know, in some ways we do the same thing that people have done for generations. I think the thing that I've tried to bring to it is that I really believe that music in the church is a calling. I think it's the second most important thing to the preaching of God's word in the pulpit. I think after that, the way the worship community celebrates in music is the next important time. It's the time when we get to speak truth and put it on a musical melody line. So maybe you will remember it when you leave. So I think the evolution has been always pushing it more towards ministering through music and not really about performance as such.
Nice. And I can understand that too. I mean, church usually keeps it traditional and, you know, in regards to its religion and the way things have worked. And you might have some small changes here and there to adapt to the times or how you speak to the people or relate to the people and things of that nature. But other than that, the basis and the foundation is essentially the same. So I like the way that you put that. With us right here live on The Splash, Director of Music Ministries for Orchard Lake Community Church, Bruce Snyder, talking about his retirement at the end of the year and the choir's upcoming performance at Carnegie Hall in New York City. Oh man, that sounds so good. Let's get back to that. What impact do you hope the performance at Carnegie Hall will not only have on the members of the choir, but maybe right here, the members of the community in Greater West Bloomfield?
Well, I think that the choir sings quite well. But I think that we live in an island kind of thing, you know? And I think on a world-class stage with 250 other singers, a professional orchestra, I think will encourage them that they're not alone, that there are other people doing this and are doing it well and are doing it passionately and are doing it out of their love for God and the sense of community that music creates. And then I think that may encourage our own congregation to value what it is that this volunteer choir brings to the services every Sunday. I think it might help their view of what we do.
Yeah, a little bit more sense of pride, achievement, things of that nature. I can understand that 100%, and I like your thinking. I like your thinking with that, Bruce. So can we just talk about, as you're stepping down, you're retiring at the end of this year, starting off fresh next year, do you have any advice or hopes that you have for the future of music ministry at Orchard Lake Community Church?
I think that the leadership of the church is wrestling with what does the future look like for the church as a whole. And I think it's a really healthy thing that they're doing that. And now with my stepping away, it's a perfect time for them to say, how do we want music to represent what the future of the church is going to look like? And so I think it's a time of pretty deep study for them as they organize that. And then I just want the music to always be good, but I also want it to reflect the vision of the church, to be part and parcel with everything else that's going on in the ministries at Orchard Lake.
Love that. Yeah, like we said, it's continuous evolution of the church and of the community. So they're going to take some things to kind of figure that out, and we appreciate it. Just a few more questions before we let you go, Mr. Snyder. One, I have to ask you this. What are you most proud of in your 29 years of service?
I think it is that God has been praised week in and week out when it was easy and when it wasn't easy, and that God's people have been encouraged by the musical team that has wrapped itself around me for these many years. It is a high calling, and I think we've represented that faithfully.
Perfect. And if you don't mind me and our audience being just a little bit nosy, what are your plans after retirement going forward in the year 2025?
My wife and I have a little condominium in Fort Myers, which has survived the last two hurricanes. I'm excited about that. And we're going to spend some R&R time, really the first time that we will be completely retired. And we're going to spend some time there. I've already made contact with a couple of community choirs in Fort Myers, and I'm going to sing with them. They're planning a big mass concert in the spring for the Brahms Requiem.
Okay.
And I'll be singing that with them in German. And then there are a couple of churches that we're tangentially involved with down there. So we'll stay involved. And then I don't know what happens in May when we come back to Michigan. We'll see what comes from that.
Yeah, you just kind of figure it out. But you can't run away from that passion. That's what I'm hearing, Bruce. You retire, but it's still going to be attached to you. I love that.
Music is what I do. It's the only thing I do. It's how I communicate with the real world. It doesn't go away.
That's a testament to it. Hey, I want to thank you so much again for your time. Congratulations on your retirement and the next chapter of your life, and good luck performing December 2nd at Carnegie Hall. Once again, Director of Music Ministries for Orchard Lake Community Church, Bruce Snyder.
Thank you. Let me make a plug for Friday night, December 6th at 7 p.m. at Orchard Lake. If you can't fly to New York to see us there, come to Orchard Lake Community Church on Friday night, December 6th, and we will do another performance with orchestra, and the composer, Joel Rainey, will be our guest that evening and will be at the piano. It'll be a wonderful evening.
Oh, perfect. December 6th, Friday. Make sure you support Orchard Lake Community Church Choir. Once again, Bruce Snyder, we appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you kindly.
Love to talk to a local community leader and someone who spent 29 years dedicated to the local greater community to actually do a great thing in our churches also. So we want to wish them good luck, Orchard Lake Community Church Choir, as they go to Carnegie Hall in New York City, representing the Greater West Bloomfield area in December. Now, if you have been listening or keeping your ears to the community, you know that we may be getting some improvements to some of our local parks. If you enjoy the parks right here in West Bloomfield, you may also get to enjoy those for possibly some cheaper rates. We'll have somebody actually on here to explain that a little bit more. So right here live on the Splash, joining me is Parks Director for Oakland County Parks. We have Chris Ward joining us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So essentially, we are talking about something that the voters recently approved that's going to improve our Oakland County Parks. So can you just talk about how Oakland County Parks will be improving in the short term and the long term thanks to voters?
Yeah, I definitely want to say thank you to all the voters who supported the millage proposal that was on the ballot. We were just overwhelmed and grateful for the the sizable majority of the vote that backed that. Immediately, we have implemented the free park entry for all of our county parks. So, any county park, pretty much any park that ends in the word Oaks is one of ours. Please feel free to come and explore the outdoors at no cost. Our dog park entry fees have also been now eliminated. So. Just a small barrier that will, may have been keeping people from coming out and enjoying the outdoors.
Interesting. So already giving benefits to local residents to enjoy our parks for free. Yeah. So thank you for providing that information and context, Mr. Ward. So what are the main goals for using this additional money that Oakland County Parks will be getting in their next year budget?
Yeah, we're very focused on trying to make very smart financial decisions. So where there are projects that were already planned and sort of in the pipeline, we are going to be scaling those projects up to take advantage of, mobilizing only once to get these construction projects completed rather than phasing them over a period of years. So there's some major park revitalization projects we have underway in Pontiac, Southfield, and Oak Park that we have already approved scaling up those projects to add more amenities and complete more work there. We also will be able to, for the first time, really tackle decisions regarding our major facilities that were beyond our financial capacity to deal with. In particular, our two water parks are reaching a critical point where we have to make a decision whether to reinvest or look at alternative uses there. And these were simply things that we just were not able to deal with in the past, as we just didn't have the funds.
Okay. Things I'm not sure everyone was quite aware about, but now that information is out there, we know that this money is going to actually help with that. And you mentioned something about improving amenities, so I want to speak on that. Just regardless with improving amenities or anything at all, how do you all plan to involve the community in some of the decisions about these changes?
Yeah, great question. Public engagement and feedback is a big part of our process. So we are regularly putting out surveys, conducting open houses, sending out postcards to residents seeking their feedback in terms of what they'd like to see developed in our parks, their preferences in terms of design elements, different uses that they'd like to see developed. So I hope anyone who's interested in those things, keep an eye on our webpage, our Facebook, social media accounts, and feel free to give us your input or just send me an email. I get them all the time from people who are looking for, various amenities, disc golf, new playgrounds, pickleball courts, whatever the case may be.
Nice. Love that. So with us right here, live on The Splash, by the way, Oakland County Parks Director Chris Ward, talking about the new improvements that we will see at West Bloomfield and other Oakland County parks across our area. I want to ask you, just in the past, just what kind of programs, initiatives, and any improvements, what creative partnerships have helped improve parks around the Oakland County area? And then how do you see those partnerships actually playing in future projects?
Well, thanks for the question. So we love partnerships. They really are a great way to take a limited amount of money and get a whole lot more value, and take assets that are already existing and make them available and open for everybody to use them. So, we developed an off-road vehicle park up in the north end of the county in Holly. That was a partnership with the Michigan DNR. They brought 50% of the financial resources to the table, and we sort of share if that facility makes a profit, we share in the profit. If there's a loss, we share in the loss. Recently, we have also really focused in on urban park revitalization and development. So we've entered into agreements with the City of Pontiac, Southfield, Oak Park, Madison Heights, where we're taking on city parks that had deteriorated and suffered for lack of investment over the years, and we're undertaking a major revitalization in those parks and then incorporating them into the Oakland County Park System. And it's a great step forward for us because over the years we've developed great parks, especially in the northern end of the county and the far west end of the county, more rural areas, but we have not had a strong presence in those urban communities. And there's a clear way to accomplish that. The parks are already there. It's just sometimes these cities are dealing with financial challenges. And so if we're able to work together, like we have in these cases, we're able to, take a park and turn it around and provide a great resource for people. And then now we're kind of working on this next level, which is partnerships with communities that don't necessarily have some of those financial challenges, but where we haven't had a strong presence. So West Bloomfield Township, we have signed a initial agreement to partner with them on the development of Pine Lake Park.
Okay.
And our role will be bringing some money to the table for the improvements that are going to be created there in partnership with the Township Parks and Rec Department. That's going to allow them to move forward a lot faster than they would have ordinarily been able to, and probably scale up and make that much nicer park in the evening.
Yes, we love to hear that. That's things, that action taking place, and that's things that we can actually see that's tangible, and we love the work that you're doing, by the way, with that. And just to speak on that a little bit more, if you don't mind, how do you plan to ensure that residents and taxpayers alike are going to see the value and results from their investment in these local parks?
Again, great question. And I don't want to talk too much about partnerships, but we are big fans of them. And so I think we've developed a model there that we just want to keep building off of. Find partners that have assets that are underutilized, maybe the public isn't aware of, that a little bit of investment will make them, much more accessible for everybody to use. Maybe they're, having challenges sustaining operations. So there are gems like that all over Oakland County. And we really want to zero in on taking advantage of those opportunities, especially if we have a local government partner or nonprofit entity that really welcomes that type of partnership. We survive and are able to exist based on the goodwill and support of the voters. So we're very, very focused on delivering results for them. And reaching all corners of Oakland County. So there's some areas of the county where we have a weaker presence that we really want to put a lot of extra attention to. That's more of the southern end of the county and some of the more populated areas. So you'll be seeing us do a lot more in those communities.
Perfect.
And we're going to be involved in things we haven't in the past, like trailway development and maintenance, opening up our rivers for recreational use, that type of thing. So more to come.
We are excited for it too, Chris. Thank you so much. Any additional information, important information about our local parks, Oakland County parks, or just anything for the residents in general?
No, I just say look forward to a lot of announcements coming in the near future. Some of the things we're going to be able to get the money out rather quickly are great, but also sort of laying the groundwork for things that are going to be constructed and built in the future. Okay. We've got the potential of a couple of major acquisitions as well that are in discussion that will, potentially be future county parks. There's one property that's nearby West Bloomfield Township, part of the Oakland Community College campus that we are strongly considering making an offer for. That would be a great county park to serve the whole area.
We know whatever you do is going to be greater and best for the Greater West Bloomfield area and Oakland County residents in general. We want to thank you so much for your valuable time. Once again, with us right here live on The Splash from Oakland County Parks Director Chris Ward. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Great information to have and to spread around, knowing that we will see improvements in not only parks in Oakland County, but right here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. We'll continue to keep you updated with information regarding those improvements. And we have other things that will improve not only just the residents, but the youth alike. We'll get into that soon. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
I'm Gina Gregory, president of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. I'm excited that Civic Center TV has reached 1 million views on YouTube. Congratulations. That's just terrific. We appreciate everything Civic Center does for the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society and the community. For us, they promote and highlight our events. It's awesome to have them available 24/7 on YouTube. I'm Gina Gregory and proud to be one in a million.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for joining us. I am your host for today, Kevin McIntosh. In case you did not know, this week is National School Psychology Week, which is observed November 11th through November 15th, 2024, with West Bloomfield School District hosting the theme Spark Discovery. You're watching on CivicCenterTV.com. You can see the graphic right here showing some of the local psychologists in our schools providing mental health improvements and helping our youth right here in the schools. So giving us a little bit more information on what school psychologists do and the Spark Discovery Initiative. Join us right here live on The Splash. School psychologist for West Bloomfield Middle School, Fatima Muhammad. Thank you for being here, Fatima.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this unique Spark Discovery Initiative and Psychology Week. I love it. I never heard too much about it, but let's go into it right now. What does this Spark Discovery thing mean to you personally?
So this year's theme for National School Psychology Week is Spark Discovery. So it really just recognizes the work that school psychologists do to help their community seek out new ideas, affect change, and expand horizons for children and youth. So we do ask that not only ourselves as school psychologists, but others, parents, teachers, and community members try to think about the following things, which is exploring connections. So consider all of the allies and resources you can draw upon to amplify the work that a school psychologist does. So I'm very grateful and thankful for you for having me on today, because that's the connection that I now have. Pursuing new ideas, we want to learn more about the comprehensive role of a school psychologist. Most people don't even know what a school psychologist does. So we want to make sure that we take this week to not only find out what a school psychologist does, but the comprehensive role of a school psychologist, because our training and our expertise is much greater than we're often able to practice in the school setting. We want people to pursue some new ideas. To launch into advocacy. School psychologists do have a national shortage right now. And so thinking about that and thinking about ways that we can acknowledge and bring awareness to the fact that there is a school psychology shortage currently. I love talking about strengths, so we want to make sure that we boost strengths and understand the unique perspective of all individuals, and make sure that we know that everyone has a valuable viewpoint and voice, and to acknowledge the strengths of every individual. And then our last part that we want people to do this week is to expand your universe. And so reflect on the ways that the community does celebrate and acknowledge school psychologists, and ways that we could do better in the future.
Perfect. A lot of context there, but we love that because it explains a little bit more about what's going on here. But I want you to take some time to really go into what you kind of do. So can you just explain how you help West Bloomfield Middle School students explore these new ideas and discover their strengths?
Yeah. So a lot of times when people ask me, what does a school psychologist do? Like, my simple short answer is that I do help teachers teach students. I help teachers teach students. So ways that I do that is that I really do help the academic, the emotional work of students. I work with students, teachers, parents, and the community to make sure that the school is a safe, a supportive, a welcoming, and an affirming environment for every student. Some of the three major ways that I do that is the number one thing that I think most people know that school psychologists do is that I do conduct assessments. So I do try to make sure that we do understand the unique needs of all students, especially those with disabilities. Some other things that I do, though, is I figure out the why behind a student behavior. So all behavior is communication. So understanding why a student might be behaving in a certain way is a big part of my role. And I try to work with preventative intervention systems to support students, because we don't want students to fall behind.
I think we're just dealing with some slight connection issues with Fatima, and she's just joining us back right now. No, you're perfectly fine. Just live news stuff is perfectly fine. But with us right here live on the Splash from West Bloomfield Middle School school psychologist Fatima Muhammad, just talking about their Spark Discovery Initiative during National School Psychology Week. So just kind of picking up from there, can you just explain the challenges and opportunities that you encounter when trying to help these youth, the young students in West Bloomfield Middle School?
Yeah, so like a lot of the things that I love, the work that I do is really working with students to boost like their academic and their social skills. So when I'm able to work with students with trauma or bullying or threat or risk assessments, it is very helpful for not only their self-esteem, but for them to be able to actually involve themselves in the educational environment. So my goal is to make sure that all students have access to their education and make sure that they can succeed.
Perfect. And I think another thing that we really need to emphasize is the fact that With children and raising children, it takes a village. That's not just a cliche. And with your role specifically, with talking to the children, getting down to the why, you actually have to be involved with others. So can you just talk about the collaboration with you, the families, the students, the teachers, and the staff, and how you all create a supportive environment for these kids?
Yeah, so again, I really do work with the school, the teachers, the administration, families, community. All of those things have to work together in order for a student to succeed. One part missing can really throw the whole system off. So a lot of the work that we do is making sure that we are getting valuable input from the student, from their parents, and from teachers. And we're putting that all together really to figure out what is happening with a student's behavior or what is happening with a student's academic learning. And we're putting that all together to figure out how can we best support the student and make sure that they academically succeed and emotionally succeed. Mental health is very big right now, and our students are not receiving the support that they need to receive for mental health all the time. And so we want to make sure that we are acknowledging that and working with our community. Our community partners in the public mental health agencies are extremely valuable. And we know that both sides, there's not enough of us. So we do try to work together collaboratively to kind of intensify the impact that we can have for that student.
No, I think about that all the time with me having a young child too, who's just starting to kind of go into school, that there's so many different things, distractions, technology that's now being incorporated, and it can have a toll on you mentally. So I completely understand and respect your role first and foremost. I want to put that out there because you have a lot on your plate, and we will talk about the shortage of psychologists coming up. But I want to talk about any misconceptions about your job that you may hear that you want to possibly address.
Yeah, so I think that goes back to the comprehensive role. Many people think that all a school psychologist does is do assessments and write reports. While that is a very valuable piece, it's only one small piece of my job. I would love to be more comprehensive. I am more comprehensive, but I would love for people to be aware of all of the work that school psychologists do. We are very much involved in, again, like crisis preventions for behavior and academic intervention and prevention. A lot of times we are the most qualified to understand and recommend interventions for students who might be falling a little bit behind. So those pieces are huge. And we have a mental health background too. We can counsel, we can work with students on behavioral challenges and emotional challenges and mental health struggles. So while yes, we can do assessments and write reports, our understanding is much more comprehensive than that. And I would love for people to have a greater understanding of all of what a school psychologist can do.
There you go. There you see, I gave you the chance. You got the microphone. She said it. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. These are the misconceptions. We love that. But with us right here, live on the Splash from West Bloomfield Middle School, school psychologist Fatima Muhammad, talking about National School Psychology Week and spark discovery within West Bloomfield School District. Just a few things I want to inquire about. You've mentioned the shortage of school psychologists. How do you feel this is affecting or impacting schools and students? And what would you say to others to kind of encourage them to join this profession?
Yeah, so I think when I talk about the shortage, it's a lot of negative. So I want to start with some positive. The good news is that in Michigan, we do have 5 graduate programs. And these graduate programs produce between 39 and 54 new school psychologists a year. That is very good news. We also have a very active state association. It's called the Michigan Association of School Psychologists. I also serve as a board member on that association. And we do a lot of work with our critical shortage of school psychologists in the state, to the point where we do have a state database for districts to post school psychology positions. So that's some of the good news. Now, the bad news about the shortage is that within the last year, we've had over 77 unfulfilled positions just in the state of Michigan. And that is not including the around 30 or so positions that will need to be fulfilled next year with retirement. Currently in Michigan, the school psych ratio is 1 to every 1,443 students. And so that means approximately over 33,000 students go without access to a school psychologist a year. And that's huge. Thinking about the comprehensive role of a school psychologist, oftentimes because our ratios are so high, we are unable to fulfill all of the duties that we are trained to do because we get stuck in such a small role because of how high our ratios are. So National Association of School Psychologists does recommend one school psychologist to every 500 students. Currently nationally, it is one psychologist to every 3,000 students. So as you can see, that is very, very huge. So again, we need to talk about the school psychologist shortage a lot more. We need national attention. We need state level attentions. We need local attention. Michigan is, one of the worst out there as well. So we definitely need to be paying a lot of attention and talking about this much more.
Yes. And I think situations like this, for one, us explaining this on this channel, but also maybe even students going through that who may have had a psychologist and felt like that was motivating for them to go into that profession, or maybe students who didn't, and then they say, I feel like this is necessary, I would like to pursue this because I would have wanted this. So either way, we're happy that you're here to explain the role of the psychologist and a little bit more about Spark Discovery, and we appreciate that. But before we let you go, any additional information, important information about National Psychology Week or Spark Discovery that people should know about?
Yes, I would definitely encourage everyone, if you have a school-age student and you don't know the school psychologist at your student's school, to reach out and just say hi. Say, hey, I see you, and happy National School Psychology Week. Sometimes it's really good for us to have that affirming practice and be recognized for what the work that we are doing. Also, if you would like to help out with the shortage, to really contact your state and your state and your local representatives. I did some work this summer with that, and it was amazing. I got to work with this area's local Congresswoman, Haley Stevens, and she was a great advocate for students. But I know that she would love to hear more from the community. So while I can do my part, but I really hope and encourage that other people do their part as well.
As we all encourage them to. We want to thank you so much again for your time and everything that you do for our youth right here in West Bloomfield. Once again, from West Bloomfield Middle School, school psychologist Fatima Muhammad. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. You can find out more about what the school district is doing with National Psychology Week on their Facebook, West Bloomfield Schools on Facebook, to get involved and say thank you to our local psychologists for everything that they do for our lovely little babies here. And Shakespeare is coming to town. It's coming to West Bloomfield High School specifically, with tickets on sale right now. Get ready for a night of love, laughter, and a little mischief. Tickets are on sale for A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, presented by West Bloomfield High School. Show dates and times: November 14th, 15th, and 16th at 7 p.m. with a special show to accommodate the deaf and hard of hearing community, which will be November 16th at 1 p.m. WB student tickets, West Bloomfield student tickets, only $5, just to let you know. General admission, however, is $15, only $15. You can purchase these tickets at the door or in advance. WBHStheaterarts.ludus.com, LUDUS.com. Don't miss this classic comedy night. Bring your friends, your family, and support our youth. For more, go to the Facebook page of West Bloomfield Schools at West Bloomfield Schools on Facebook for more information. Oakland County is keeping you in a reminder state that for this fall, please leave the leaves. By leaving the fallen leaves on the ground this autumn, you help our wildlife and local pollinators. When you leave the lawn with the leaves on the grass, they create a natural mulch, and it reduces weeds and fertilizes the soil as well. They also, in case you didn't know, are a natural habitat for birds, turtles, frogs, and other small insects that all do their job to our local ecosystem. So if you want to find out more, go to wbparks.org regarding Leave the Leaves initiative and how you can actually help with our local ecosystem. And this is just a reminder to everyone, today is World Kindness Day, a global celebration of compassion and empathy. Whether it's a simple gesture like holding the door open for someone, or saying thank you, or doing a wave if someone lets you merge into their lane on the freeway, or even something big and significant like volunteering, kindness can make a very big difference. Even sharing a smile with someone that you see. So let's all strive to be a little bit kinder to one another each and every day, even beyond World Kindness Day. That's the message I just wanted to share right here on Civic Center TV. Make sure you keep up with all of our news, Civic Center TV wise, on our website, civiccentertv.com. We are also on social media, Facebook, Civic Center TV 15, and on YouTube, Civic Center TV as well. If you're watching on civiccentertv.com, make sure you use that QR code with your smartphone, scan that, and it'll take you to the links to all of our social media and our channels. We appreciate you again for being here. I am your host for today, Kevin McIntosh, and per usual, we are live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.